All right, I'm just going to get started because this is recorded anyways. So if anyone's late, they can just watch the replay. So thank you so much, you guys, for joining us today. It is our last Makeup with Me session tonight. So we are going to have a special guest joining us. So if you don't know her already, you should definitely go ahead and follow her on Instagram. Her handle is @it's Meesha Ali. So I'm just going to type that into the chat for everyone. So Meesha creates a lot of beautiful, sorry, I'm just trying to admit all these people as I talk. So Meesha creates beautiful makeup looks. She uses a lot of Motives cosmetics. She's a qualified makeup artist and beauty therapist, and she's had her own beauty salon for 6 years. And then she's also been a rock star mum for the past 6 years as well. Hard job.
Hard life.
So I'm going to pass it over to Meesha. We're going to do a kind of, if you guys have any questions, I'm going to try and leave it to the last 5-10 minutes, just so we can have Meesha kind of go through her kind of routine. And then, yeah, we'll address anything at the end. And then if we don't have time, obviously you guys can always email me and I will get the answers that you guys are looking for. So enjoy. I hope you learn a lot of tips and tricks from Meesha. I'm really excited to learn as well. So I am going to mute myself and I'm going to hand it over to you.
Okay, well, can you hear me? Yes, okay. Good evening, everyone. As Veronica just mentioned, my name is Meesha Ali. I am from Melbourne, Australia, and I joined Motives in February 2020, so at the beginning of this year. And at that time, I just had a baby. I have young children, so I do have a lot on my hands family-wise, and I just found that Motives really helped me just to express myself creatively, and I love playing with the makeup. And then I started making YouTube tutorials just to experience the product and learn a lot about it before I can really fully focus on the business side. And so far, I've really been enjoying it. And yeah, this is actually going to be my second Zoom live doing Motives Cosmetics. So I'm kind of nervous, but yeah, that's a little bit about me. Tonight, the tutorial that we're going to do, if you didn't see it on the Motives Cosmetics website, it's basically a very, very soft gold feminine look. And we're going to be using the Boss Babe palette. And basically, we're just going to be using mostly neutrals, really, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the reason that I chose that is because I do find with a lot of clients, and also for myself, a lot of people like neutrals in terms of the colors, and it's a really soft, beautiful, flattering, feminine look that is quite universal. And at the end, we're going to do neutral lips, and then on top of that, we're going to do this so that you can kind of change this look and go from day to night. With lipstick, it's so easy. I think a lot of people know how to apply lipstick, so you can really, with the neutral eye, you can apply any lipstick. So you can always apply your favorite lipstick. You don't necessarily have to go with these colors, but I've chosen these because this is from the new range and they are actually beautiful formulas. So we'll get into that later. Should we get started on the tutorial, Veronica? Because I can't see anyone except for myself.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, cool. All right, so to start, okay, what's the time there as well? Because, okay, 7:07. I'm going to do a full face of makeup and I'm kind of going to fly through it, but I'm going to apply my makeup the easy way. If you watch my tutorials on YouTube, I normally start with the eye and I carve out the brows, but that can be really a little bit complicated. So I'm kind of going to take the beginner pathway to make it really simple and keep everything as simple as possible so that you can learn the easy way. So to start our makeup, we're going to put on moisturizer. Now, I normally do use this one. This is Lumiere de Vie, and it's actually the hand and body cream, but this is the intensive hand and body cream, and I find this formula really beautiful. Plus, it's part of our Motives range. So what you want to do is just start off by nourishing your face and giving it a nice, beautiful base, because obviously skin is really important. And if you've got any flaky bits, that's what it gets rid of. And obviously when you've got really nice skin, the foundation can go really nicely on the skin. So always start off with that. Next thing is that I'm going to start off with the Motives primer. Primer is really good to fill in all those little crevices. So look, I only just take a little bit, and I only use this where the pores are. Now I do have a lot of pores and crevices on my nose, so I only want to apply it there. And I also have a few here and just a little bit up here actually. So with the primer, you don't really need to put it all over your face, just in the areas where you've got a few little holes, a few little big pores, stuff like that. And then what that does is it seeps in and it gives a nice flat surface so that when the foundation goes on, it goes on looking airbrushed. Gives you nice, beautiful skin. All right, so what we're going to be starting off with is I'm going to start off with the foundation. As I said before, normally I start with the eyes, but I'm going to be starting off with the foundation just to make it really easy. Now I'm going to be using the new bundle of foundation sticks, which obviously make it really, really easy to apply your foundation. And the colors that I have here are Sable, French Vanilla, and Toffee. So I kind of go with the medium shades. So I'm going to get into that right now. So my base shade is going to be Toffee. So before I do that, I have found with the Motives foundation sticks, they're really highly concentrated, and sometimes they can go on a little bit dry, and I do have a little bit of kind of dry skin, I feel. So I like to apply this oil just so that the foundation doesn't go on too dry. So that's just for me. Now the oil that I'm using is by Sukin, and it's called Hydration Elixir, Purely Ageless. And I find that that's really good, only because this is not a cream formula and it can be a little bit drying. Okay, so let's start off with the foundation. You don't need a lot. I'm just going to put that all over my face, my nose. Okay, over my eyes. Just go ahead and apply it. And then I like to use a foundation brush, and I just go ahead and blend it all into the skin. So get right under the eye, right over the eye, into the eyelid area, and then let's just blend it all the way up. So remember, you want to blend it right into the hairline, up to the ear, all the way down where the chin is, on the jawline. Now I like to go straight over the lips. I'm just going to look down while I'm doing this because my mirror is in front of me and it's down. So go ahead and blend it whichever way you like. You can use a foundation brush or you can use a sponge, whichever way you feel is best. And just get right underneath the eye there, right on top of the eye as well, because you want to get rid of all the discoloration that you can see around the eye area. Veronica, am I able to pull up the screen where I can see you as well? Because, or can I only just see myself?
Let me just
only just so that I can. Oh, okay. So if I see you, that makes your screen really big.
Yeah, but tell me what you see when I mute myself.
Okay. I can just see a very small screen and I can see you big, so that's fine. Yeah, I'll take it back the other way. That's fine. Only because I can't see any feedback and it's.
Oh, I'll let you know. I'll jump in if anyone asks anything.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. No worries. Okay, so also the foundation brush that I was using is actually from Juvia's Place, and I bought it online, and I have found this to be really, really a great way to blend out my foundation really fast. It's got this nice dense flat surface. Okay. All right, moving on. So now I'm going to move to the highlighted area. So for this one, I'm going to go in with a different foundation. And just let me see. This one is Sable. Okay, so I'm actually going to go in with French Vanilla. So in the 4 bundle, you'll get a dark color for contour, and you'll also get a light color for highlight. So I'm going to highlight underneath the eyes. And what's really good about these foundation formulas is that it's just so easy to apply. So just go ahead and highlight right underneath the eye. Now I like to go on top of my eyelids, and I also like to drag it up, because when you drag it up, it kind of brings the face up, it lifts up the eyes. Okay, a little bit here and just down the center of the nose, just like that. Then I'm going to take a brush just to blend that out. Okay, so I've basically got a smaller flat brush, and all I'm going to do is just blend that into the skin. Just like that. So you want to make sure that you're actually pushing it in, using a dabbing motion, applying pressure, not spreading the product too far around, just basically leaving it where it is and actually pushing it into the skin using a dabbing motion, just like so. Now you can do this with a sponge, or you could do this with a brush, and especially through here, you don't want to have any lines. Sorry, I saw a question, seems a bit thick to me.
Yeah, change just said, does it need to be so thick? Seems a bit thick to me.
Absolutely not. It doesn't need to be thick, but you'll find that when you apply it, it kind of goes on, it just goes on the way it goes on. Now, if you like, you can get a little bit, and then like this, you can apply it by getting some on your brush and applying it a lot thinner. It's fine. You can go on as thick or as thin as you like. Normally for tutorial purposes, I like to apply it just a little bit thicker, only because I like to show what I'm doing. But if I were just wearing my makeup, I always do go a little bit thinner. But if you go too thin, people can't really see what you're doing. So yeah, go down the center of the nose and just really make sure that everything is blended out. Okay. And then what I like to do is go in with that other brush, and I just like to blend out all those lines. Just like that. See how it gets a little bit more closer to your skin color? And as I said, you can go as thin or as thick as you like. All right, so now for the contour, we're going to go in with the darker color. And for this one, I'm using Toffee. So remember, for highlighter, what that's going to do is going to bring your features forward. And for contour, it's actually going to recede it. So between light and dark, you can manipulate the features on your face, and you can reshape certain features. So right now, my face to me is looking pretty flat. With the contour, we're actually going to be able to manipulate bone structure. So that's my other color. I'm going to go in with a darker color. And for this one, I'm using Sable. So just a little bit from the top of the ear, halfway down, a little bit on the jawline. And I've got a long chin, so I'm just going to take a little bit off my chin. Same thing on the other side. And then just the top of the forehead, because you can see my forehead is quite large. So I'm just going to reduce it a little bit. Same thing, we'll just blend it out. Now, I do find that this part of the tutorial can be quite consuming, but seeing as that this is, your face is the largest part, this part is really important to get the skin and the contouring and the highlighting right. So it's worth just taking a little bit of extra time. Okay, so just blend that all out. And then I like to go down the sides of the nose just to narrow my nose a little bit. Okay, and you'll see that it's all blended out. Once you get to that level, then we'll move on to the powder and then we'll set everything. Okay, so this is one of my favorite powders, is this one here, and it's called Neutral Photo Finish Press Powder, and I just love this color. This is in the color Neutral, and I don't know, this is one of my favorites. Now I take a big fluffy brush and I just set it very, very lightly, and what we're doing now is setting everything in place. That's all. So just go in and set your entire face. Right over the lips. And right over the eyes. So try to get underneath, right in underneath here. Otherwise you'll find if you don't set underneath there, you'll get the fine lines and you'll be able to see that it hasn't been set, and you'll get all the wrinkles. So that's why make sure underneath your eyes is set really, really well. And what I love about this powder is that it photographs really well. It's not too thick and it's not too light. It's just beautiful. So once you've done that, down the neck, then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so for now, face is actually done. All we have to do is our contour powder. So let's move on to the eyes. Now, we're going to go in using our brow palette. So this one here by Motives. And we're also going to use the brow brush, because I find the Motives brow brush, I use this all the time, and it's really good because it's very, very thin. So it's good for brow definition, and it's got this tapered end, which is really good for detailed work right on the ends. So I like to go in with this color right here, which is the darkest color in the palette. And then we're just going to carve out the brows. Okay, so starting at the center of the brow, okay, working up to the arch. We're going to go all the way up, coming down to the tail. And all we're doing really now is just creating the shape. Okay, so you can see there. And what I like about this brow palette is that it's powder and the colors are really soft. So you can afford, this is great for beginners, because if you use brow pomade, you have to be really, really precise, and you need really steady hands, whereas powder lets you get away with a few mistakes and it's easy to clean up. So you just want to create a parallel line, go all the way up to the arch and then coming down with the tail. Okay, that's it. Once you've got that side done, we'll do the other side, same thing. So I like to start at the middle of the brow. Okay, just to create the shape. All I'm doing here is just creating a nice outline. I don't go ahead and just fill in the brow straight away. I like to create the lines first, create the shape, and then fill in. Because sometimes if you don't get your angles right, you can be a little bit off with the symmetry of the brows. And I find that brow symmetry is really, really important, because you need both of the brows to look symmetrical for your makeup to look amazing. So same thing on the other side, take the arch up, bring it down to the tail and make those tails really sharp. If you've got nice natural brows, then really just follow your natural shape. In any case, following your natural features is the most flattering way, but I don't have a lot of brow hair, so I have to kind of spend a little bit more time on my brows. Okay, and that's done there. All right, so the lighting is a little bit dark. So how does that look? Because it's looking so dark on my phone, sorry. Veronica, are my brows looking even?
Yeah, they look even to me.
Okay, beautiful. Okay. So now that we're done with the brows, I just better check in with everyone. Has everyone finished their brows, or do you want to take a sec just for everyone to catch up, and then we'll move on to their eyes? Do you just want to see where everyone is at?
Yeah, I have Connie saying she loves the blending technique.
Okay, thank you. What device do you use?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can only just see the first line. What device do I use? Right now, I'm just using my iPhone, and I've got a ring light in front of me. So I've just got my phone up and a ring light, if that's what you mean in terms of this device. Yeah,
The full
just
question
my
was,
iPhone.
what device do you use? Also, the lighting, your screen is so clear and pretty.
Oh, thank you. Because I was kind of concerned about that. From what I can see, I think it might have to do with my settings. I'll have to turn my lighting up. But I've got my ring light. It's one of those Luvo lights. And I've got it up pretty high, because you can see now. Has that made a difference for you guys? And you'll see this. If I turn that down, that's, yeah, so lighting makes a big difference. So how's that lighting for you guys? Is that too bright?
No, it's good.
Yep. All right, cool. So yeah. All right, so let's move on to the eyes. We've done our brows. Now, I like to always start off with the brows because that frames, first of all, it gives me symmetry on my face, and it also gives me symmetry on my eyes. And it's always good to start, if I think anyway, if you're doing clients, figure out their brows first, because then you can figure out their eye shape. Your setup and screen presentation to ordinary. That's all I could read because I couldn't. Can you read what that question was for me, please?
Your setup and screen presentation to ordinary people is professional enough.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, cool. All right, thank you so much. All right, so let's move on. So Boss Babe palette, and as I said before, we'll just be using 1, 2, 3, and then we'll be using this gold color here, right here. And so basically you can see it's just neutrals with a bit of gold on the eyelid. And I find that so many people, so many ladies love this look. Okay, so we're going to be starting off with this color right here, which is it's the lightest color in the palette, and it's, oh, actually it's called Control. Okay, so what I like to do is grab a flat brush, okay, like that. And all we're going to do is basically dab the entire eye. And basically this is actually setting the eye. Okay, so let's go, and you can see how I've got these creases already because we haven't set the eye properly. So that's why I always like to go in with a lighter shade on the palette and just basically set the entire eye. So let's go. And you can see how I use my brush is, instead of swiping on, I'm pretty much just dabbing all the way up to get that product on there and bringing it all the way down to the lid. Okay. And on the other side, let's do the same. Take it all the way up to the brow bone, down to the lid, and just make sure you set the entire eye. Because when you set the entire eye with a nice powder, the other powders go on really easily and they blend out really well. Okay, just like so. Okay, so moving on. Pretty much before we do that, I just want to show you, I do many eye looks, and I use very limited amount of brushes just to keep my eye looks really simple. I always use this brush as number 1, which is a flat brush, and that is normally to set the eye. And no matter what color I'm using, whether let's say I'm doing a pink eye or a purple eye or a brown eye, I always use the lighter shade, and I always use that to set the eye because it's big, it's flat, and you just dab on that color. Normally the second one that I always do, which is a transition shade, and it fits right above my crease, I always use this. Now, it's fluffy, but it's not kind of this fluffy. It's got a little bit more density to it, and it's round, and it fits perfectly just above my crease. Now, everyone's eye shape will be different, but I would recommend that whatever eye shape you are, find something, like if you have a bigger eye, that's perfect. If you have small eyes, you might have to get something similar, but maybe a little bit smaller. I have found that these 3 brushes work really well. A flat brush, a kind of dense round brush, and then a blending brush. So these are the brushes that I think you need to have and that I'm going to use today. So brush number 2, transition shade. We're going to go in with the next shade in the palette, which is this one, and it's called Profit. Now, what I like to do is I don't go in really, really hard. I get a little bit of product, just a dab, and then I want to layer the color on as we go. So I'm trying to look in, let me grab my brow palette because my mirror is down here and I'm trying to get close for you guys to see. Okay.
Sorry, Meesha. Kitty has asked if we should use an eye base first.
You can use an eye base. And in my other tutorials, I do actually use the eye base, but just for purely to make it a little bit simpler, the whole thing, I decided to actually use, see how I went in with my foundation, and then I set the eye with this. So you can use an eye base, but because I've already used foundation and I've set my eye with this, I wouldn't go on with an eye base now. I try to keep this tutorial as simple as possible, so I skip this step and instead I use foundation, because these foundations are quite thick. So I was able to use that, and then I set it with this. Now, if you've done it that way, you wouldn't need an eye base, because this is a cream formula, and if I was to go over it with cream, I'm going over it with shadow, and I've already actually set my eye with powder. So you wouldn't need to go and do it again. But you can use this as an eye base. I've used the foundation stick as an eye base, if that makes sense, to make it more simpler. Is that cool?
All good.
Yep. Okay, so let's get back to our transition shade. Going in with that one, Profit. And we're just going to go above the crease. So I set my brush here, and then I go very, very, very lightly, just swooping it across very, very gently. Okay, so I don't want to go all the way up to the brow, and I don't want to go too much on the lid. Basically, this is a transition shade, and it's a transition shade because we're going from light to dark, okay, through the eye. So let's just go there and swoop that color on. Get a little bit more, tap off the excess, and then keep going in. And see where I'm holding my brush? I feel like if I hold it too close, then it's going on too hard. If I keep it back here, then I feel like the brush is doing the work and I don't need to push hard. It just gently goes on, and I like to build up the layers very, very, very softly. One more. And just do that. So above the crease, but below the brow. Just like that. And you'll be able to see there's a slight difference between this eye and that eye, because we're going from light, where you can see underneath the brow bone, and then we're going into that transition shade. So once you do that, that's enough. Let's do the other side. Same thing. Keep the brush in the position that you want, and then just bring it over. And you'll see that I'm kind of, every time I go back, I'm kind of doing circle shapes and then just swooping it over very, very gently. Because it's way easier to build up color and build up layers than it is to try and correct it. Because if I get a lot and I go in really deep, then to try to correct too much color on the eye can just make it really messy. So if in doubt, go very, very light. Apply less would be my tip. Okay, just keep doing that. And effectively what we're doing is we're starting to carve out the shape of the eye. So I tend to like, I kind of, because my eyes are small, I like to keep them big and I like to wing them out a little bit. So as I said, everybody's got their own preference, but for me, I like to kind of swoop the eye up One, because it lifts up the eye, and I like to have that almond shape. I like to accentuate it. I find that shape is the most flattering on people. Okay, see how I'm just lifting it upwards and outwards. Okay, so there's the transition done. It's very, very subtle. And then we're going to go in with this color here. Now it's a darker shade. We've gone from light to medium brown and then darker brown. Now even less, I'm going to get on my brush, this one here called Leader. Tap off the excess. And actually what I might do is I might change my brush as well. So I'm going to change, and I'm going to go to brush 3 now, which is a little bit thinner and it's a little bit fluffier because I'm going to do a little bit more blending. So go in with Leader, tap off the excess. And so now I'm even going further closer into the crease. Okay, so we're just warming up the crease just ever so slightly. Okay, we've gone from 1, 2, and now we're going in with that 3rd color. And all I'm going to do is just blend it like into this outer V. That's all it is. Making sure that there's no lines on my eyes. That's it. Always bringing it down. So see how my eye's kind of going upwards and outwards? It's elongating the eye and it's pulling up my eye. And that's what I want to do. A little bit more, and I'm just basically tapping it right on the end, upward and outward, and then blending through the crease using little circular motions just to create beautiful transition and blends. That's it, just like so. Okay, so that side is done. Go in with the other side, tap off the excess, and see how I don't kind of apply my makeup that way. I kind of get it on the angle. It's really weird. I find that because with this, if I'm right-handed, so if I work this way, this is the easy way to apply. So obviously then you have to work backwards. So I want to keep the angles. If I go in at this angle, I want to go in at the same angle except on the other side. So I'm kind of working backwards. I don't apply my makeup like this. I do it the same way, but this way, if that makes sense. So pulling it upward and outward. So going on the outer third and making sure that I'm pulling it towards the brow, blending it upward, and then I bring it over into the crease. And the reason that I put it that way first is I want to get that shape right, and I want to get the angles, and I want to get the symmetry happening first. So placement of where your brush and placement of the shadow is really, really important when doing the eyes. And then I just basically bring it over, blending it into the crease, making sure there's no lines, just working it really, really gently and working with a little as product as possible. Because these, I find with Motives Cosmetics, they're so highly concentrated, you don't need a lot. If you go in with a lot and you make a mistake, it's very difficult to clean up. So just build it up slowly, take your time, less is more. And then you'll eventually start to see that, you know, there's a shape that suits your eyes, and you'll just start replicating that shape every time. So you can see there, that's all it is. Now I've used 3 colors. The base shade, number 1, transition shade, number 2, which goes above the crease. And now I'm working into the crease. That was transition number 4. Number 3. So now I'm going to change my brush. The last bit of the eye is just the crease. And this is why I love this look, because it's so simple. We've used 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to go in with one of these. Now see, I've used matte-based shadow on top of the eye. Now I'm going to use a metallic. So these ones, you can see the swatch right here. And this is great for the lid, because this is the part where people, when you're looking down, you can actually see beautiful colors. So I'm going to go in with this color here, and it's called Payday. And I'm going to use my finger. It's a nice gold. We've got a rose gold here, a gold there, and we've got a dark, more so bronze gold. All of them are lovely, so you can use any of them. But I'm going to go in with the Payday, Woohoo Payday. Yes. Don't we all need that? Okay, so use your finger or you can use a brush. Just go on and then just swipe that on top of the lid, just like that. See? And as I said before, I do find gold is very flattering on a lot of people, and it's a great formal look as well. Brides love gold for their wedding days. You can make it really soft and flattering, and just a great all-rounder. And as I said, you can wear this type of eye look with many different lipsticks. Okay, and that's all. So you just want to take it up to the crease like that and not go too far out. You never want to drag the product down. Okay, so get it on top. It doesn't have to be so clean. Don't worry about that because we're going to clean up later. So other side, just gently tap it all over the lid. Just like that. Make sure you look back and make sure it's all even. Especially if you're taking pictures with your makeup, you'll find that when you do your normal makeup, like when you're just going out, you don't have to take pictures. You can be messy and throw it all together. But when you take pictures, you find that you have to have such detailed work because the camera picks up everything. So I've learned to take my time. It's worth taking time and just going lighter, always rechecking your work to make sure that everything is symmetrical, especially eyes. And there we go. See how everything's blended in? We've gone from light to dark, and then we've got beautiful metallic shade on top of the lids. Okay, so that's it. Now the under eyes. Moisturizer, sealer, Sukin oil, even, oh, sorry, it just went away. Are you able to read that one for me, please, Veronica? Was that from Sherry?
This is from Wendy. It's very long. Let me just moisturizer. Sealer.
I'm just trying to capture your steps. So I put it there. Then you can see for me whether I follow your steps correctly. It's just your step one, starting foundation, sealer to now your eye. You can watch it.
Oh, okay, right. So you've written out the steps, basically.
Yeah.
That
steps and the color and the method. Yeah.
And we can.
Hey, Veronica, could you maybe publish the steps later?
Yeah, I can definitely.
That might be better, and then everyone can see it later with the recording.
Yeah, I can have it on YouTube in the description.
That'd be perfect. Yeah.
Thanks, Wendy.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for that. All right, so now we're going to move on to the under eye. So what I like to do, this is the Motives Cosmetics brush, and it's a round, fairly dense brush. And the reason I like this is because it just fits perfectly underneath the eye. I don't know, does it have a name on this? No, it doesn't, but it's the Motives brush, and it looks like this. I'm going to go in with this color, and it's Profit. And what I like to do is just go under. Sorry, you can't see. Okay. So this is actually that number 2 shade. And all I'm doing is just going underneath the eye very gently. Okay, and I'm basically creating a shade, and I'm letting all of this join up right here. So going underneath the eye, and then bringing these 2 colors together, bringing it all the way up. See, dragging it upward. Now, when you're working underneath the eye, you want to work in little short strokes using little product build-up, because you never want to go too heavy underneath the eye. Okay, so And I've got mostly all of it just on the outer third. Okay, other side. See how I'm working backward that way? So using it in a flat motion, short strokes. Okay, setting underneath the eye and just dragging that V together, joining up all that product and dragging it towards my brow so that I can lift up my eye. Okay, now I'm going to go in with Profit, which is, sorry, Leader, which is the darkest shade, just a little bit. And then I'm going to warm up just under here, just slightly. And just blend those two colors together, only on the outside of the eye. Just on the outside, and then making sure that I'm joining the top eye and the bottom eye together. Just dragging upward and outward all the time, making sure that it's nicely blended and it's still soft. Other side. Just on the outer third of the eye. Dragging it all together and just dragging it upward and outward. All right. Okay, so how are we going for time? 7:44. Okay, I'm going to work pretty fast because I'm going a little bit slow on time. We're going to add our wings. Now, this one is the liquid eyeliner, Luxe Precision Eyeliner by Modus Cosmetics, and this is in black. Now, I use this all the time. All the time. That's why I know these products are good, because you'll find that every makeup brand has a liquid liner of some sort or a felt tip pen. And then after you use it like 5 or 6 times on top of the eyes, because it's taking in all of this shadow, it will stop working after like the 5th time. I've had this since I joined this. I got this in the joining kit and it still goes as well today. And I've done heaps of tutorials. So this is definitely one of my favorite products. Anyway, so we're going to go in and we're going to do wings. Now, some people find this a little bit hard. I find by holding the pen gently, lightly, middle, and using it in a flat motion instead of going in this way, dragging it upward and outward. Okay, so I like to start from the middle, placing it before I actually go either way. And then I use short strokes, very, very fine inside the middle of the eye. Okay, like that. And then once I get to there, I'm still using it in a flat placement. Now, I look at my eye and I can see I want it to go towards the brow. So then I kind of stamp it here and work backward. Okay, I'm bringing it down. And then I just bring it all together. And with my wings, I want it to start really thin and then get thicker as I pull it out towards the brow. Okay, so we've done that side. Jackie Gomez taught us, oh, sorry, I missed that little comment. Sorry about that. Okay, and then the other side.
Kitty said, Jackie Gomez taught us to put 3 dots and link them. Easier for newbies like me without steady hands.
Oh, yep. Look, there are so many ways to learn how to do this, and I think you just have to do what is easiest for you. If you need the 3 dots, then by all means do that. That's the best way to learn. Find what works for you and just do that. Okay, so same on the other side, and then just bringing it back. Because don't forget, there's so many different versions of a good wing as well. I find that mine are just kind of medium. They're not too extreme, but some people find my wings really extreme. It really just depends. And again, not everyone suits wings, because if you've got a hooded eye, it can actually drag your eye down. And there's a special way to apply for hooded eyes. So yeah, make sure that you know your eye shape and practice. Okay, so now we're going in with the mascara, and I'm going to go a little bit faster Just going in with this because I'm going to actually be applying lashes. I don't have a lot of lashes on my eyes, so I always love to apply lashes because once I've got my lashes on, I feel like it just brings the whole look together. Okay, so I add my mascara. Where is mascara? And down the bottom as well. I think everyone knows how to apply mascara, so I'll just fly through this part here. Basically, you just want to have it looking, have your lashes coated without all of the little blobs of mascara on there. If you've got beautiful long lashes, then you want to layer it up. I've got tiny little lashes, so it takes me a little bit longer. Okay, so that's all done. Now, this is the part that I feel just ties the entire look together. Today I'm going to be using Dior lashes, and this is a lady from Melbourne, and I love these lashes because they've got longer lashes on the outside and then they taper in, they get a little bit thinner, and it's basically the same principle of creating that elongation through the eye and making the eye pull upwards. So I'm going to be using this lash grip today by Ardell, and like that. And you want to put a generous amount on. Just go through like that, and then I might just set that right in front of me because you can't just apply it straight on the eye. You need the glue to activate and to be on there for about 30 seconds and turn tacky before you apply it on your eye. So yeah, apply a generous amount on. I'm not sure if you can see that. Now the reason I like this glue is because it turns black. It's not clear, it turns black, and it's the same color as my eyeliner. So yeah. So what I'll do, if anyone wants to use this time to catch up, I'm just going to set my lashes in front of me. And while that's happening, I'm going to bronze my face. Now, one of my favorite bronzers is this one called Hampton Socialite. It's this color here. It's a really nice cool brown. You don't overdo it. Okay, so I've got a nice big brush. This is my bronzing brush, and it's similar to a foundation brush. It's just not as dense. So same principle, light layers. Now this for me, this is quite light. For some people, they may feel like, wow, she uses a lot of makeup. That's really heavy. But when your lighting is like this, it kind of like blows out all my makeup. So I have to go a little bit more heavy-handed, and purely so that you know where I'm placing the product. Now, just on top. So I like to start here at the cheekbones, swipe it up towards the ears, and then just basically tap it all around the forehead. Like that, same thing. Just bringing it down along the jawline. And then I just like to do this, make that thin, and then just bring it down the noses. Like that. Just to thin out my nose, make it so wide. That's basically it. It's a beautiful formula, this one. It's a nice color. That's it. Got the bronzer done. Contour done. Now let me just check my lashes. Okay, we might just do our blush while we're waiting for that. Okay, now for my blush, I'm using this color here, and it's called Naughty, and it's a beautiful peach color. So with this brush, I'm using a fairly fluffy brush, and it's this size here, so you can see that, and it just goes on the apples of your cheek, so it's beautiful. Not too much, just very, very lightly on the apples of your cheek. So just smile. Remember, pulling it upward into that bronzer. Other side, and let the brush just do the work. Like so. And I think now we will apply our lashes. So I need a mirror, I need tweezers. Sorry, I'm just looking for my tweezers. I do have my tweezers here. Looks like I didn't bring them. Okay, that's okay. I'll apply it with my fingers. Okay, so you can see here, this is the longest part of the lashes, and then they get shorter in here. So I normally do apply it with my tweezers. Can't seem to find them. Oh, here they are. Right. So the reason I like to apply it with my tweezers is because you can actually get into the eye. So I hold them right at the middle, and then I know, okay, I'm holding them at the middle. This goes into the middle of my eye. So just go straight on, find the middle, place them on, and then let the glue just latch on. That's it. Okay. And really waiting for that time for the glue just to get tacky, that's really important. Otherwise you'll be sitting there and the glue will be moving everywhere. Same thing, center of the lash, going right in, placing the center on the center of your eye. That's how I like to do it anyway. And then just using the tweezers to fix up and making sure that the ends are really stuck down, because that's where they normally lift. If the ends lift, then you're going to be able to see it in pictures, and you won't be able to see it looking at yourself, and then you'll see it in pictures that, oh my God, one little side has lifted, or maybe worse. So that's it. See how lashes and wings just really pull a look together, for me anyway. Okay, so now we are ready for a little bit of highlighter. Now, I like to use this one, and it's called Goddess, and it's in their shimmer range. Now, the reason I like to use this is because with highlighters, I don't like to go too light, because I don't like having those stripes. I like it to blend into my skin. So seeing as I'm fairly dark, I like to use a shimmer that's closer to my skin color. So this is like a dark gold. So I just go in a little bit there, just put it on the tip of my nose, just like so. Like that, just blend that out. Okay. And then I like to use one of these brushes, and top of the cheeks, like that. And again, I don't like to go too crazy on the highlighter, and just make sure that it's blended in. You want to go just on top of the cheeks, and bring it up like in a little tiny C. Just there, right there, in a C formation. And the same thing here, just in a C formation. That's why I love this tapered brush, because it kind of just sits beautifully there. You could use a smaller brush, it's just entirely up to you. I find with it, if you were to use a smaller brush, you'd have to blend it out more, because you don't want a line to be sitting there. And it may not look like a line when you're looking at it, but if you take a photograph, you'll be able to see it's a line. So just blend that out. Now we're going to go in with the lipstick. How are we going for time? Should I give everyone a minute to catch up? Ask any questions before we go on to the lips? Okay, this is the part where you start kind of fixing yourself up, making sure it's all coming together. Anyone got any questions at this point?
Meesha, I do often get a question just about eyeliner.
Yes.
There are people out there that get like really smudgy eyeliner no matter what they use and what they do. Is there like a tip or trick that you would use on a client or yourself, or like know of any tips or tricks that could stop smudgy eyeliner?
Well, to be honest with you, I actually don't like using eyeliner as in a pencil, because I find it does smudge, and I don't like that smudgy look. I have found that this one, like when I do my cat eyes and I have really dark black, jet black underliner, I use this. which is Little Black Dress Gel Eyeliner. Now, the reason that I use this is because it dries onto the eye. So I don't know if it's actually smudge proof or what it is, but I have found that this one is really, really good. You put it onto the eye, it creates a jet black line and it doesn't smudge. So has most people used this?
Yeah. I think
do you find this runs?
I don't ever have an issue with smudgy eyeliner. That's why I never know the answer when someone.
Oh, okay. But yeah, and then I have used the motives. I've got the brown eyeliner with the little smudge on the ends, and I've got the brown one, and they just, first of all, when you apply it, it doesn't give you that nice strong line, so I just don't use it. And I'm assuming that if you were to use it, because it doesn't give you the jet line, that to me already suggests that it's a kind of weak product and that it runs. But try this, because I find that it goes on really nicely and it dries, so it just sets. Or it could be your eyes. In this one, I find the gel eyeliner makes it strong. Yeah, same. I find that this gel liner is really strong. It sets dry and it sets and it's beautiful all night. Doesn't run, doesn't smudge. Try this. Yep.
We have one question from Wendy. How often do you wash your brushes?
I wash my brushes after every tutorial. So normally I shoot it on a Tuesday, and then I'll just wash all my brushes. That's only because I'm doing it and there's a week in between, so I just like to have them all clean. You can use, what's that, isopropyl, and you can spray and then just get like a wet wipe, spray, and then just clean in between. If you're just using it on yourself, but if I would say that you don't want to use your brushes more than like a week. If you're using it 5 days in a row on yourself, I would wash them, because it can build up a lot of product, especially around your eye area. If you haven't washed your brushes and you're using it every day, that could be a reason that you could be getting irritated eyes. How many hours do you wear makeup in a day? For me specifically, well, if I were going to work, I'll just do my makeup in the morning and then I would wear it all day. When I do my tutorials on YouTube and I shoot these tutorials, I leave it on max 2 hours and then I just take it off, only because my makeup is so heavy and normally I don't wear that much makeup, and then I just like the feeling of clean skin. So, and I'm only at home anyway with my kids, and I don't like it getting on my clothes, and also when I'm hugging my baby, I don't like all the makeup coming off. So, but back in the day before kids, I would put on makeup and I would have makeup on as long as possible. Yes. Any other questions? Or should we move on to lips?
Yeah, you can move on.
Yeah. Okay. So for the lips today, I've got these two colors. Gel eyeliner is good for the wing. Yes, definitely. Okay, so this is from the new collection they've just launched. This is in the color The Realist, and this one is Love Wins. Now, the reason I've got this one is because right now we could finish off with a neutral look and it would look beautiful. If you want to turn it up, we can use this color, and this is a nice soft like maroon color, kind of a berry shade, but you can basically get any color that you like. Your favorite lipstick would work with this look. So before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to line my lips. And yes, I always do use lip liner because lips are so important. Lips are very important. So I'm going to go in with this color, and it's called Dusty Rose by Motives Cosmetics. And with the lips, especially if you're doing tutorials or you're taking pictures, people always look at lips. Like lips is a thing, just like brows is a thing, you know? So, sorry, some of my product has just built up in that time. Let me just get a wet wipe and just clean my lips. I used the Motives Cosmetics vanilla scrub this morning, and I swear it was just sugar because it tasted really nice. And then and it was just kind of coming off my lips. So I think it's taken half the skin off. That's fine. All right, remove daily. Wendy. Okay, yes. Oh, if you were asking about how long you should wear your makeup for, no matter how many hours in a day you wear your makeup, you should always remove your makeup before you sleep. Never ever sleep in your makeup because your skin needs to breathe and it needs to be clean. Okay, So let's go in here. Now with my lips, I like fuller lips at the front, and I'm going to overdraw my lips just a little bit. Sorry, I meant eyelids, not eyeliner, typo error. Okay. So let's go. Starting right here at the center of the lips, I'm just going to overline my lips just a little bit, and then I'm going to meet them up right here so that my lips look fuller at the center. So let's do that. See how I've overdrawn just here, but I've met up at my natural line there. See how this top looks slightly bigger than this? And then we'll match it up on this side. True, Connie, though. Oh, sorry, I missed that comment. And then for the bottom, same thing. Meeting up with my natural line down the bottom. And then I'm not going to overdraw as much on this side because my bottom lip is naturally fuller. So I'm trying to basically make my lips look even. So I want it fuller in the center, and I want to make this lip even. So that's just my personal preference, but basically I use lip liner to reshape and make my lips look fuller. Plus I like it to look really clean on the outside. Then we just apply the color on the inside. All right, so let's go in with this one. And this is a liquid lipstick by Motives Cosmetics. And let's do a color swatch right now. That's so beautiful. It's a beautiful, I would describe this as a beautiful peach nude shade. Okay, now I only need a little bit, and just go into the center. Look at that. And depending on the look, I do like that kind of out lip line look to remain there, because that look is kind of in. But if you don't like that, then you can blend it all out. What's the color name of the first liquid lipstick? This one is called The Realist. And it's blended together nicely, but you can still see a little bit of lip liner, which gives me that definition. And you only need a tiny bit. These formulas are really beautiful. So there you go. That's the neutral look. Any questions for that one? Now at this point, you could go ahead, and I have done this, depending whether you like the neutral matte look, you could just finish off right here, like that. Or you could apply this. Now, I have found this lip gloss to be so beautiful, so flattering, so feminine, and your lips look amazing in photographs. And this is the lip gloss called Scandal. So you can go matte, or you can apply this one. This is one of those products that came in my sign-up kit. So most people should have this. And look at that. Like, I like it because it's kind of neutral, and it can go on top of any color. This is the first time, sorry, I missed that comment.
Kitty said, this is the first time I ever had my lip liner without blending the color. Didn't know it's the in thing now. Thanks for sharing.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. You can see now that the more I blend my lips together, the less of the line you can see. But I like that tiny little bit of outline, only because it just, then you can see the shape of my lips. So there's that color, and it's so subtle. This gloss is just beautiful. It gives that nice plump look and really, really feminine. So this would be the moment that we would stop, take a selfie of your work, do all the different angles, go to natural light, take selfies, promote your products, do whatever you want to do. And then if you want to turn up this look, instead of creating the neutral look, we can add any color. I had my before, not is my after.
I think she meant she's taken her before, now she's taking her after photo.
Oh, you're taking your after photo? Yep. So go ahead, take your after shot, put your little lippy there, take the shot. I do take, if I'm promoting the lipstick, then I would kind of like keep it here, go into the natural light, have my ring light, and then do a little pout, or do whichever way you like to promote. Take your selfie right now. Now, we're going to add this one. Let's do a color swatch right here. And this is called Love Wins. So I might just take off the excess. Just on the middle. So I don't want to take off the entire look. It's really just that gloss. That's okay. And then let's go ahead and apply this color. So if you were going out, maybe on a date night or more formal look, then you could wear a darker color. So again, because I've already applied my lip liner, I don't want to go right on the edge. Okay, I just want to apply in the center and then let the lipstick do the work. That's basically it. And we just really needed a tiny little bit. You don't want to get too much product on there and then be swiping it around. You want to get product, wipe off a lot of the excess and then build it up, because the worst thing is trying to get this lipstick and then trying to clean up your lines. And there's the final look. Now, what I would probably do at this stage is just to, that was fun, thank you. What I would normally do just to lift this look a little bit more is that I would go back in with my blush, and I would add just a little bit more to make it blend in just a little bit more, because if you're going to make heavy lips, you just want to make sure that the rest of the face is balanced. So I'm going to add a little bit more of that blush just to make sure that everything's blended out. And there we go. You got your look. Check your work. Everything's good. Take your selfie. Put your little lipstick there. Promote yourself. Promote your business. So, yes. There's the eyes. You got your wings. See how subtle that is? And then, of course, you got your lashes. If you've got long lashes, then you don't need these lashes. So, done. How did we all go?
Thank you so much, Meesha. That was so much fun. We had a lot of ladies following along.
Yeah.
So be sure to take your selfies. Tag Meesha in them. Tag AU Motives Cosmetics, so we can share them on our Instagram.
Yes, I'd love to see some of the completed looks. I'd really love to see that.
I think you should do like a webinar on how to take selfies. You always have the most.
Yes, we all need training in that one.
That was so much fun. I think we answered all the questions as you were going anyways. Yep. Everyone's saying yes, we need training for selfies.
Yes, we'll do that. Let's lock that in. We all need selfie training. Thank you.
Thank you everyone so much. That was so much fun. If you have any feedback that you want to give to me or give to Meesha, you can just email them directly. Thank you everyone. I hope you guys had a fun night, and we will see you next year.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. See you guys in 2021. Mwah. Bye.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
It's been fun. Thank you, Veronica, for all makeup with me this year.
Lily, yes, it is recorded. It will be up on our YouTube page.
Thanks, Meesha.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining in. All right, no worries. Okay, good night, everyone.
See you all,
Okay,
ladies.
bye.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.